International games are few and far every year, and it makes it tricky to make accurate predictions on your favorite bookmakers. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to make the best out of international fixtures and also to get accurate predictions for yourself when it comes to international games. Once again, don't forget that this video is only a pointer and you're advised to do your own research, make your own conclusions, and also gamble responsibly because that's our watchword here on Betting Expert Nigeria. And also, when you follow that, don't forget to stick with money you can afford to lose because that is part of our responsible gambling policy here on Betting Expert Nigeria. Moving forward into the topic of discussion, international football is different from club football because unlike club football where you would always find a game to place your bet on at every time of the season, international football is quite different because there are specified windows where international football is taking place in every calendar year. There are 5 different periods in every calendar year where you can find international football to place your bets on. This is March, June, September, October, and November. Just like in the next coming international window in September, where the Super Eagles will take on several African sides for their Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Moving on to international fixtures, there are things to note when it comes to betting on international fixtures. And first of all, we are going to tell you which are the easiest confederations to bet on in terms of their order of preference. First and easiest confederation to bet on is the UEFA, and that's Europe. Just like the just concluded Euros in the summer where Spain emerged as champions, it was almost sure that Spain were among the top sides they were among the favorites to win the competition, and they did not disappoint. So if you are betting on European fixtures, you are always likely to make a correct prediction because teams that are predicted to win always usually do that, and it's a safe space to place your bets on. Next one is your CONCACAF fixtures, which includes North America, because this is also similar to Europe because there's a big gulf in quality between top sides and lesser sides, so you can always make better picks as well. After that, we are going to CONMEBOL, where we have our South American sides. If you were following Betting Expert Nigeria prior to the Copa America games, we all predicted here on set that Argentina will come out as champions. And it happened just that way. This is once again because the gulf in quality between the top and the left sides is very large, so it's very easy to make your predictions on who would win and who is more likely to lose. After that, you have your AFC fixtures, which is where you have Asian teams. They play the Asian Cup most of the times in the winter period, and you can also get top predictions from the AFC competition. After that, you have your CAF, where we have our own Super Eagles, playing in CAF. CAF is also very tricky because sometimes form goes out of the window, and it's just based on teams that want to win it more, as they say. CAF is actually one of the most difficult tournaments to place your bets on because of how unpredictable it can be. And the most difficult to place bets on is the OFC, which is Oceania, because aside New Zealand, most of the countries in this confederation they consist of part-time players, meaning there are no detailed stats to look at. The team that you have playing in 1 year might be different from the team that will play in the next year, so it is not easy to make any accurate prediction. Even following form might not work when it comes to placing your bets on teams in the Australian League. Now that you know the easiest and the most difficult federations to place your bets on, so now that we've given you the ranking on the confederations to bet on in their order of difficulty to the easiest, now let's move on to tips in specific for you to take into consideration when it's time to place your bets on international games. The first and most important that cannot be overlooked is for you to do your research. At the start of this video, I mentioned that everything being said in this video they are only pointers and you're advised to do your research. And now when it comes to tips for international betting, I'm saying the same once again, that the most important thing is for you to do your research because this would always put you in a better position than bettors that do not make any sort of research, because a team might be favorite on paper to win, but when you look at the squad they picked for their games, they might not pick some of their strongest players, and this might put them in a weaker position than the bookies might be offering. So you're advised to do your research, know the players that have been picked for that tournament, know the players that will be available, know the coach that is also leading the squad to that tournament, what the coaching style is, and their objectives going into that tournament. Some teams might not really have a lot to play for going into a particular fixture. Some teams might also have a lot to play for going into a particular fixture. So you are advised to do your research, put all these factors into consideration, and make your best decision when you have weighed everything on ground. The next one is for CAF games, and this is specific for CAF games involving the African side. When it comes to the African side, ignore the head-to-head and focus on current form. Like I said earlier, when it comes to CAF games, they ignore all of these parameters, and it's just about who wants to win it more. You might see Super Eagles taking on a side like Liberia, and it looks like Super Eagles are sure to win. But it usually doesn't play out that way when it comes to CAF games. Anybody can win, basically. Anybody that wants to win it more, anybody that plays better on the pitch, anybody that gives his best is likely to come out on top. This is why you are likely to see many upsets in CAF games. And there is usually no favorite. Forget what the bookmakers say. Look at your form. Look at what everything is saying. Look at the players. Look at their form as well, and make your best decision. When it comes to European games, you're advised to go with the goal market and also the handicap market. And this is because even for sides that we know they are the likely side to win, the golfing quality is not so much, meaning the so-called lesser sides also have a player or some players that can also cause trouble, meaning we are likely to see a more close game when it comes to European fixtures. When it comes to CONMEBOL games, you're advised to play a double chance because this is a very low-scoring confederation, and when teams score, they tend to lock up their defenses. So you're likely to see 1-0 score lines, 2-1 score lines, or very, very low-scoring affairs. When it also comes to teams that are ranked 90 and below according to your FIFA rankings, you're advised to play a double chance because you don't know what to get from this side. You don't know their playing style. They don't usually play lots of games. They don't have top established players compared to teams that are in the top 50. And you're advised to just go with a double chance because the game can usually go anywhere. On top of all of this, once again, I'll say stick with money you can afford to lose. Pick your best strategy, and also always have a bankroll that you are going to stick with. And most importantly, have a sheet where you record all your selections when it comes to international games. Know the ones that work for you, know the ones that don't, and improve on the one where you are good at and continue to make it your strong point. That's all we have time for you in this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Give us your comments in the section below. Which international federation is your best to place your bets on, and which strategy will you be looking out for when it comes to the next international window? So we catch you in the next Betting Expert Nigeria Academy video.